See, we only understand that in the long arc of God's will. We don't understand the truth of Romans 28, that God causes all things to work together for good in the middle of the pain of life circumstances. Because in the middle of the pain of life circumstances, we just don't see how it's possible that this can be used for good. How can this pain, how can this horrible thing that happened to me, how could this be good in any way? It's not good because we're in the middle of it. But in the long arc of God's will, we look back on that and say, I got it. See, now here's what I know. Without having gone through this, I can never be here. Without that, I could not have gotten here, which is absolutely the will of God in my life. You see, life punches you in the face, and it doesn't feel like there's any way this is possibly good. But in the long arc of God's will, we get it. And we understand. Not only do we understand, we can get to a place where we go, if I have to choose not going through that and not being here, I will choose that to be exactly where God wants me to be every time. But you don't get that in the middle of it. Verse 30. And having chosen them, he called them to come to him. God calls to us. We answer him by faith. And having called them, he gave them right standing with himself. I mean, that's an important concept to understand. Right standing with God just means, the theological term is justification. It means being saved. We are in a right relationship with God, because when God sees us without our being redeemed, he just sees our sin. And a holy God says, but when we have put our faith in Jesus, now God sees us through the cross, through the blood of his Son that has forgiven our sin and redeemed us and put us in right relationship with God. So God doesn't see our sin. He just sees the blood of his own Son who has forgiven us. And that makes us in right relationship with God.